So we've been exploring the various facets of willpower for about 2.5 weeks now, and going deeper and deeper into so many wondrous aspects that can really assist us in developing, maintaining, and just accumulating willpower. We've spoken so much about the original and authentic self, that pure divine soul within. We've gone deep into the exploration of this new connection, new relationship with the divine. And those are absolutely the key ingredients. And this morning, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce you to a third element, which at the Brahma Kumaris we also consider to be most essential. Essential in meditation, as well as essential in terms of holding an elevated consciousness. Some of you might have heard about Dadi Janki, who was our beloved administrative head, but more than that, our senior yogi, like a mother to all of us, most inspiring in every way in terms of her teachings and her life's example and her nurturing and her sustenance, and especially her empowerment. She was really somebody who would spur you on. And her mantra, if you want to call it, what you would always hear emanating from her are 3 questions. And she used to guide us and say that every morning when I wake up, I ask myself these 3 questions. At every point in time, I ask myself these 3 questions. And again, it used to take her back to the essence. And I'd like to share these 3 questions with you. We've been exploring the answers to 2 questions already. And now we're going to add the 3rd question. So it's, who am I? Who do I belong to? And where do I come from? So today we're going to actually be speaking about, where do I come from? Not I, this physical human being, but I, the soul. So I actually would like to, at this point in time, share a picture with you. We know about our existence in the physical dimension, which is the planet Earth. And we also know that within the physical dimension, there's the Earth and the stars, the planets, the solar system, etc. But in meditation, now we'd like to introduce you to another dimension, a dimension of consciousness, which is really far beyond, above and beyond this physical dimension. And it's a place of absolute peace, absolute silence, absolute stillness, because there is nothing physical in this dimension. Here on the physical earth, we as souls are within the body, and so there's movement and there's sound. We utilize many objects in order to navigate ourselves in the world, and machinery, cars, technology, gadgets, all of it actually. There's some degree of movement, there's some degree of sound, there's a lot of communication. But in this dimension, this golden red vast expanse of spiritual light energy, there is no movement, there is no sound. And in our original and eternal state, before each of us as individuals entered into the physical dimension, we actually existed in this space. So essentially, this is the original home of the soul. We refer to it as the soul world, nirvana, translated as that place beyond sound, param dham, that supreme abode. So whatever word or name we use to refer to this place, the focus is on the actual existence of this place and the intense energy that permeates the atmosphere in this place. So I'd like for you to actually imagine and try and feel as I'm describing this place. Imagine a place in which there is nothing physical and there's no movement. And there's just the existence of the soul embedded within a family of souls under the canopy of protection of the Supreme Soul, who is located in this region. Each soul in that intrinsic state, that original state. Nothing exists in this place except pure vibrations, peaceful vibrations, powerful vibrations. All of these vibrations emanating and radiating from every point source, primarily from that Supreme Soul, that divine source, but also from each soul that exists within this space. So it's a place of complete rest, complete silence. And total security. Security because there is no change. There's no potential of loss. There's no potential of damage. Because there's nothing physical that exists in this space. Whilst we are in this place, we are at our prime, our highest in terms of consciousness. And all other souls are at their prime and their highest. Resonating, a total resonance with each other. All of us completely embraced in a cocoon of light created by the comforting vibrations of that supreme light. And so we are totally safe and secure. But as souls, we are a minefield of potential. Within us exists these qualities. So as souls, we are this minefield of potential. Within us, there exist these qualities of love and joy and purity and peace and power and truth and wisdom. And there's an inherent pull to actually come into expression, to translate all that latent potential into expression. And so that the physical dimension is actually the dimension in which we have the opportunity as souls to translate all of that latent potential into movement and expression and sound, so that love is animated and is given life, and joy is animated and given life. And so I'd like to share this image once again. So you can see here how there's a band of sparkling stars that are making their way into the physical dimension. And that for us is the understanding that we hold as to how each of us as souls enter into the physical dimension. We enter into the physical dimension and with this pull to expression, to add our value and our beauty into the world around us. And as souls, we then adopt a physical body. So you can see the soul from the home of light now entering into the physical body, the center of the forehead. And this is a very interesting concept. I'm going to actually stop sharing. I just wanted you to catch a glimpse of this image. This is a very interesting concept. The concept of us being actors. So in a physical drama, an actor has a script, a part, and before going on stage, obviously would adopt a costume according to the part that is being played. Hair, makeup, clothes, etc. And so then the part would roll out. And so on a spiritual level, in our essential form, we are without a body. So the soul, as an actor, is the one without an image. And entering into the physical body, the body becomes the costume for the actor. And the costume is obviously young or old, whatever gender, whatever race, whatever religion, whatever culture, whatever language. And so that is how the drama of life is so interesting, is just has so much of variety, is so colorful, is so stimulating. And this is then the field in which souls as actors adopt the costume of the body in order to play a part. And in terms of willpower, the very specific consciousness to hold on to is to remind the self that I, the soul, am an actor that has adopted the costume of the body and that is playing a part in the drama of life that is actually within the context of the stage of this physical dimension. I want you to think about it for a few seconds. It's a very unique concept, and it's a very powerful concept because there's a shift, a very subtle shift that happens internally. When I consider myself to be an actor, having adopted a costume, playing a part on a stage, then very naturally there settles within the self a slight sense of detachment from the part, because as an actor, when I'm playing a part, I am not the part. It's a part that I'm playing. It's a character that I'm enacting. And there's also a very natural detachment from the scene, the scenario that's rolling out, from the props that are on this stage, and also, quite importantly, from the parts that other actors are playing other actors that are also involved in the scene. Now, the sense of detachment is not an unhealthy detachment, as in a don't care attitude or a lack of responsibility. No, not at all. As souls, as beings of love and peace, truth, power, inherently, we actually want to do our best. And that holds true, especially for fulfilling our responsibilities and really playing our roles in this world drama stage to the best of our capacity. But to what extent is there complete enmeshment in that role? That's, where stress comes from. And so this consciousness of being an actor creates just a subtle veil, if you want to call it that, between myself and the part I'm playing. And like I described, the drama around me, so that I'm engaged, and I'm engaged very efficiently and very effectively, but there's a detached engagement. And this detached engagement then allows for me to access a level of clarity, actually, within the intellect. A level of clarity that enables me to really arrive at excellent solutions and make decisions that are the most appropriate for whatever role I'm playing and whatever part is being enacted. And so this detached engagement, this consciousness of being the actor on the stage of the drama, actually allows me to play my part to the best of my ability within the drama. It's not about escaping the drama. It's about being on top of it, being on top of my form. And how does this relate to willpower? Well, I'd like for you to think about the loss of energy that normally occurs when we actually out there fulfilling our responsibilities, playing our part, whether it's engagement in relationships, whether it's engagement in a task or a responsibility. There's a lot of investment of time, of attention. There's many challenges and obstacles. And when I can't have that veil of detachment, if my consciousness is completely enmeshed just on the physical dimension, then the thought process, and along with the thought process, all of the feelings, that take over me, is like a leakage in terms of the reservoir of energy that I'm trying to actually accumulate. And so willpower, I'm generating willpower by stabilizing in my original identity and in linking and connecting with the divine source. But I'm holding that willpower when I'm able to navigate my way as an actor within the drama efficiently. And so it's about consciousness and it's about identification. I'd like for you to experiment actually and explore this consciousness as you go about your business through the day. Try it today and see how it feels. See what your energy level is like in that moment when you encounter a challenge or an obstacle. Just notice what your thought processes are and your decision-making capacity is when you just take that moment before responding or before reacting to remind yourself of who you are, who you belong to, and where you really come from, and what it is that you're actually doing here as an actor. Create that subtle veil. It's instantaneous. It's not a long, drawn-out, long-winded reflection. It's something that's poignant and something that can actually work in that moment. And then just see how differently you're able to actually navigate your way in the drama. And then notice at the end of the day, when you're wrapping up everything and you're about to turn in, notice the lift that it has on your energy level in terms of the mind and the tiredness or the burden on the mind, etc. And I promise you, you will feel a difference. But it is a matter of awareness. It is a matter of being astute in the moment and again coming back to this consciousness of who it is I am, who I belong to, where do I really come from, what is it that I'm actually doing here. So that's actually the consciousness of being an actor, and how it relates to willpower, and how we can actually conserve our energy in this way. That's willpower, isn't it? Being able to conserve the power that we've been generating so that it just grows and grows and grows and works for us and doesn't leak away. At this point, I'd like to bring Sister Usha in. Sister Usha, is there anything that you'd like to add or explain further?
It's funny, we didn't talk about this at all today. And yesterday, when I was preparing the thought card, I was thinking that let's do this whole theme on flight for freedom, when we take flight, there's freedom. And so it was so nice to relate to this idea that, when the bird is still coming out of the nest and very insecure, it holds on to the branch and it doesn't know its potential. But when it lets go of the branch and starts to fly, it then is able to see that it can actually be on its own. It doesn't need the branch. And then it can have this 360-degree view of life because it's now not working from the old memory that I need a branch, but I've opened up my potential. Then I realize actually that the sky there's no boundaries, there's no limitations. And so as you were talking about the idea that we come from this home, which is actually free from this barriers that we have created in the physical world, and we made ourselves belong to a country and a nationality and a religion. And so in a way that also does control our energy. So when we're talking about willpower, it's about having a deeper sense of actually who I am, so that I don't bring myself into a limitation, which will then say, no, I really can't do it. As much as I want to do it, I can't do it. So when I transform my identity of being someone who doesn't belong to limitation, that will is naturally increased and enhanced in a sense, because inside of myself, the platform from which I operate has completely transformed. So there is, my trajectory is completely unlimited. So I like to just sort of link this idea that to even be the actor, because most people don't want to be on a stage. They just want to be in their own thing, do the things that they normally do. And so if I choose to be the actor, I'm going to expose myself, I'm putting myself forward, And so to rather look at it, not in the sense that others are going to watch me, but to really look at this idea that I have an opportunity to I'm using the word unleash, but really to let something that is inside, which I'm kind of playing small with. And we know that only when we're on the stage, it asks of us to be something differently. So such a nice way of doing this, of using this awareness of being an actor and allowing that opportunity to express what is inside of me. Because that's what an actor is, the talent to be different things at different times and not getting caught up with anything. So I have to be a mother 1 minute, then I have to be someone's child in another minute, then I got a role as a doctor or a teacher or a whatever. And then I just move from these different roles. And at any given point, because I know it's only a part I'm playing, I don't get hooked into it. And it's such a liberation on our mental capacity not to be holding on to the things we do, but to just allow ourselves to come in and experience, this is what is required at this time. And then when I'm finished, I don't think, oh, I was so great, I did all of that. Even that kind of false energy goes away, because it's something I did. So I am free from even the outcome of it. And then I'm now in a new thing. Let me be present in that. And so that's why I thought the actor and connecting to this flight and then being free can be such a beautiful way that I'm increasing my potential to do many things, and not stay in the memory of the limited identity I've created for myself. Yeah, I think that's
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So we actually did a bit of the meditation as the session was going on. So perhaps we'll close at this point with the song, and then thereafter Nita can take on. Wishing you all well. Thank you.
Okay, everyone.
Enjoy your exploration of being an actor on the World Drama stage for today. See how it feels.
So definitely a full morning and lots of food for thought, I think, but also lovely invitation to hold that awareness of being an actor on this world stage and just observe how I relate differently, but also how I engage differently. So I'm going to invite Sybil. We can say goodbye. I see there's been a few comments and one request to have the video of the exercise that Sybil did on YouTube. So I'll ask her to do a little recording and then we'll ask Danielle to upload it. So do have a lovely day. Sybil, some last words?
Well, we know that we are a soul. We know how to look after the soul. And meditation is definitely going to do that. But also the soul needs a healthy body. So we need to do some exercises, and even those hand exercises, they are helping you to feel good. So it works both ways. The soul needs to be looked after, and definitely the body, who is the house of the soul, needs to be perfectly in order as well. Okay.
Great. Ties in very much with this idea of I'm an actor playing my part on this drama, that I, the soul. Wonderful. Thank you. It was wonderful having you this morning, Sybil. I thoroughly enjoyed myself and I got my morning exercise dose. So that's great. Just a reminder that this evening is our talk on Rising Above with Sister Dipti. So do join us for that. Have a lovely day and take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Om Shanti. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.